Hey, this is Brooke, functional medicine dietitian specializing in fertility, and this is the Fertility Dietitian podcast, where I help you uncover the barriers that are preventing you from optimizing your fertility and teach you how to work with your body to finally take home a healthy baby. Each week, I will be diving into different topics on fertility and sharing my perspective on physiology, metabolic health, nutrition, and lifestyle approaches that have helped hundreds of couples get pregnant even after years of heartache. My goal is to empower you with the knowledge you need to take back control of your fertility. Happy listening. We are going to talk all about what progesterone is, how we make it, and how to support progesterone production naturally. The very first step to making any progesterone is ovulating. You have to be ovulating in order to make progesterone. We will talk much more about supporting ovulation in a future episode, but for now, my top tips for making ovulation happen include eating enough and sending your body consistent messages that it is safe enough to nourish fertility. So after ovulation, the follicle that released the egg turns into what's called the corpus luteum, and this is what secretes progesterone. The quality of this corpus luteum is influenced by your nutrition and lifestyle during the 100 days before ovulation even happened. This is the preconception period, and we talked all about the preconception period in episode 1 of season 1. So if you want some more background on the preconception period, please go back and take a listen there. Okay, so you have to ovulate to make progesterone, and the quality of the progesterone mirrors the quality of the egg, which is influenced by the preconception period. But why do we really care about progesterone? Well, progesterone is a key hormone for cycle health. She balances estrogen, she reduces inflammation, and is calming to the nervous system, which supports stress management and mood. But progesterone's biggest job is nourishing a pregnancy. We need progesterone to be high enough for long enough in our luteal phase, which is the phase from ovulation to your period, in order to support implantation and then continue to support the growth and development of an embryo in the early weeks of pregnancy. The balance of progesterone and estrogen is very important for getting pregnant too. So, if we aren't making enough progesterone, estrogen will feel high, even though it's really a low progesterone issue. And yes, estrogen can be truly high, even when we are making enough progesterone as well. So, both estrogen and progesterone can also be in normal ranges, and you can have high estrogen symptoms as well. This is because poor estrogen metabolism drives estrogen down inflammatory pathways, painting a high estrogen picture. That is a whole nother episode, which we will certainly address later this season. Learning whether you have a low progesterone or a high estrogen picture is why testing is so helpful. I don't mean a simple blood test, although that can be okay to start with, but diving deeper can really help you learn where your body is at and how to work with it. If you want to start with that blood test for an initial look at progesterone, you want to test progesterone in the middle of your luteal phase, which is 5 to 7 days after ovulation. If your cycle is textbook, this would be about cycle day 21. But if you have an irregular cycle, testing progesterone on cycle day 21 means nothing because you may not have ovulated yet. And this is where tracking your cycle, specifically your basal body temperature, comes in handy. An ovulation predictor kit can be helpful, but it still won't confirm that ovulation happened. Only basal body temping can do that. And remember, OPKs or ovulation predictor kits test LH surge, which is luteinizing hormone, and this is a predictor of ovulation. So it doesn't guarantee that ovulation will happen. Okay, so in the meantime, here are a few signs of low progesterone or at least estrogen progesterone imbalance: heavy, prolonged periods, irritable mood, luteal phase less than 10 days. Remember, that's the day after ovulation to the day before your period. Painful periods, poor sleep, and spotting before your period. If you're having these symptoms, there is no harm in making a few nutrition and lifestyle changes to support progesterone. But please remember, food is powerful, but it is not magical. Naturally boosting progesterone requires a strong foundation of gut health, a healthy liver, healthy detox pathways, sleep quality, and stress management. So please remember that if you are still experiencing low progesterone symptoms after implementing these next tips, there's a lot of benefit in diving deeper. So here are 7 tips to boost progesterone. Tip number 1, we have to start in the gut. A healthy gut is a foundation for healthy hormones, and you can start supporting gut health by including probiotic foods like sauerkraut, yogurt, kimchi, and prebiotic rich foods like onions, garlic, whole unpeeled carrots, and ground flaxseed. Tip number 2, load up on antioxidants by including lots of color in your diet. Antioxidants protect ovarian follicles, setting the stage for ovulation and healthy progesterone. Think vibrant colors for antioxidants. Berries, beets, dark greens, and citrus are a few great ones to start with. Tip number 3, reduce your stress by practicing daily stress management strategies. Stress steals nutrients away from building that healthy corpus luteum and allowing it to shine in the luteal phase. Deep breathing and time in nature are a couple of my favorite stress management strategies to get started with. Tip number 4, many of us need a little support in getting rid of excess estrogen so that progesterone can really shine. Our cruciferous veggies can help here. Think broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and bok choy. They all support the liver in detoxing estrogen so it can better eliminate it. Tip number 5, fat provides the building blocks to make progesterone, while other foods support progesterone by blocking excess estrogen. So, providing the nutrients for hormone detoxification is supported by adding in foods I just mentioned, your cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, adding in avocado, olive oils, walnuts, fatty fish, and seeds like sesame and sunflower are going to provide those fats that are essential for giving your body the building blocks to support progesterone creation. Tip number 6, vitamin C rich whole foods support the corpus luteum's health as well. So aim to add in more citrus, dark cherries, strawberries, mangoes, kiwis, and bell peppers. And don't be afraid to use frozen when these foods are out of season. They are going to still give you a good dose of vitamin C. Tip number 7, aim to eat a nutrient dense diet as a whole, but really focus in on those nutrient dense proteins in order to boost many minerals and vitamins that support progesterone production and estrogen balance. Think whole eggs, full fat dairy, fatty fish, meat, and poultry. If you're questioning any of these foods because you've been told that they are inflammatory, tune into episode 3 of this season. It's all about busting fertility diet myths. So I hope you see great improvements in your cycle health by implementing these tips. Remember, it can take about 3 months to see significant changes in progesterone due to the time that it takes to nourish that corpus luteum. Ultimately, nutrients and antioxidants will be shuttled away from improving follicle development if they are needed somewhere else in the body. So, investigating why progesterone is low is key if you aren't seeing improvements. Targeted nutrition and lifestyle can support your body in creating quality follicles and ovulation so you can create a healthy corpus luteum and boost your progesterone production. In my Master Your Fertility program, we uncover the root causes of your fertility challenges to optimize your fertility so you can finally take home your healthy baby. Follow the link below to apply for a fertility strategy session and see if we would be a good fit to work together. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fertility Dietitian podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review to let me know what topics you want more of or less of. If you want to keep learning, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out my website for more info on my private coaching program, Master Your Fertility, or my membership community, Fertility Blueprint. And don't forget my digital store. Come say hi on YouTube and Instagram. See you in the next episode.